Hello, welcome to CotoGames Summoners Wars Pro in the making. Today I'm going to give you my thoughts about the free rune removal and what is the best thing to do on the free rune removal. First of all, my main thought about the free rune removal is going to be that free rune removal is the monster test day. Because on this day you can go ahead and take out the best runes on your damage dealers or your support monsters and just throw it out into any monster you want to see if it is worth building or not. Also keep in mind that you need to at least 5-star a monster before you are able to say if the monster is good or not. This is my personal theory that the monster is going to work better. I mean the RNG is going to be better on the monsters that are the highest star. So if you have a 5-star monster and a 6-star monster, the 6-star monster is going to have better RNG. There's no way to prove this, but this is what I have seen on the game. And I have not read anything about this before. It's just a personal theory. Now, once again, this is the monster test day. Put the monster with the best runes. Use the monster. If you find the monster is going to be good for your team or good for your arena offense or defense, then in the future you can go ahead and 6-star the monster and just use it as intended. After you do that, then is the time to focus on the runes. And what do you need to rune first? I know it's hard to get the best runes. I know it's hard to balance the monsters, but you don't need to balance the monsters that much, because if you try to balance the monsters a lot, then you're gonna stay behind on the game. And actually the best thing to do is going to be to first of all focus on the rune farming teams and try to do that on the following order. On the first rune farming team that you need to focus on is going to be on the Giants team. The Giants team is going to be able to get you the runes that you need for the Dragons team, and the Dragons is gonna get you the runes that you need for Necro. So in the same order, you focus first on the Giants team to make it faster and reliable, and then you focus on the Dragons team to make it faster and reliable as well. You can play Dragons and Giants for a long time before getting to Necro. You don't need to worry about Necro too much. It is good to get the Rage runes from Necro, and also it is good to get the Vampire and the Will runes. But you don't actually need these runes to be able to get to Conqueror 1. And getting to Conqueror 1 is the best thing that you can do, and the thing that you can need to do the most when you start playing on the game. Then you can go ahead and go into Necro when you need to get to the next level of playing. That will be Conqueror 2 or above. And the difference will be just the runes and the monsters you get. So focus first on the Giants, then the Dragons, and then the Necro team. And after you are done with the rune farming teams, then it's going to be the time for you to focus on the Necro team. On the raids team, I'm sorry. And then try to get a team for raids that will be able to do raids 3 or above in a timely manner. So if you are doing already Dragon Speed 10 within, let's say, within 2 minutes and a half, then you have runes good enough to play R3, raids 3, or R4. Then as you progress in the game, you're going to be getting better runes, everything is going to be smooth, and you will be able to get a better team as you move on the game. Now, after you have the rune farming teams, and then you also have the raids team runed, then you need to focus on the arena monsters, on the damage dealers, and you also need to focus on the monsters that will be able to be used on the guild battle, on the guild waters, and also in the arena defense. First of all, focus on the main arena offense, and then focus on the second arena offense. It is good to have 2 arena offenses. One YOLO arena offense that will be able to get you quick teams faster, and one safe team that will be able to clear any team that you try to beat. And then you focus on the second arena offense, and then when you get to rune the monsters for the arena defense and the guild battle defense, is because you have already runes all the monsters below before. For example, the same monsters, support monsters, and damage dealer that you set up for the Dragons and Giants team will be the same monsters that you will be able to use on the defense as well. And in my case, what I did before is that I ruined my illusions first, because I wanted my YOLO team to be faster. I wanted to be faster, and I wanted to be having will sets on my monster to make sure that will move. I run my 2 illusions on attack, read damage, attack, will anything. For the first one, that is this one that is here, I wanted to make sure the crit rate was as high as possible. I don't have the runes to make more crit damage and to make it this speed with rage, not yet. But at this time, what I did is that I set up this build will anything just to make sure I get the critical rate up over 75% and the crit damage over 140%. And I also wanted to have attack, crit damage, attack, and also 170 speed. So my two Lucians are above 170 speed, and they are around 74 above crit rate, and they are over 140 crit damage. So both of them on attack, crit damage, attack. It's really nice to have them on will, so that way I make sure that Bernard, Megan, Devolution will work. At least between Conqueror 1 and Conqueror 2. I just need to max up the runes. And after that, I'll focus on many of my other damage dealer monsters, like for example, Shren, Kali, Amarna to use it on Necro now. Also, I'm running Delicious and Rina, and there's so many things to do on the free rune removal. But as I said before, I mainly focus on my dragons, on my giants teams first. My giant team, I use my illusions on my giant team. So getting my illusions better is something that will improve the quality of my runs on the giants B10. Also, as you were able to see, I also ruined my Tarks on violence, both of my Tarks, and I also made Hill to have a little bit more of damage. So this team is the team that I'm using for dragons now, and the team has not failed a single time yet. And I know it's gonna fail sometimes because of the RNG and the runes are not good enough, but it's a reliable team because I have done more than 20 runes and they have not failed. If they fail now, it's gonna be about 93% success rate, and that's good enough. So I'm telling you the order I'm doing. Giants first with Delusions, Dragons with the Tarks and the Bird Hill, and then Necro, I'm gonna use a Marna for Necro, and I also use my Lucian. One of my main Lucian, I use it on Necro as well. So I'm making sure I follow the same guidelines to make sure that you will be able to get to the bottom of this the same way I did. It is really nice to work on this way, because when you get to the raids, I also rerun already Colleen, and I'm using Colleen now. This Colleen right now is a lot more tanky than before, and it has more speed. Now it's 200 speed Colleen, and it's 27,000 HP and 700 defense. And she's now on on revenge, double revenge, broken set, because I wanted her to be tanky as hell, making sure she's going to be able to survive and that she's not going to be taking many turns on my raids 5 team. It is on the support monsters. The only support monsters that you should have with violent on raids is going to be basically, you don't want your support monsters to take many turns, but the healers, they should take as many turns as possible. Ideally, Colleen is better on violent, but I'm following the guidelines because I want to test Colleen like this from now on, and I wanted to use the runes that I had on Colleen on some other support monsters to make everybody better. So by balancing this way, I'm gonna test Colleen for this month on full revenge, and if it doesn't work like that, then I'm gonna have to spend the mana to rerun her again. But so far I tested her and she's been working fine for me. I also made Lisa a little bit more tankier by setting up more defense on her. She's a bit slower, but she works like that because I also test her on raids as well, raids 5. I'm running as well my Xiaoling, and I'm making many tests to make sure that I'm able to go ahead and break into raids 5, no problem. And she's been working like that as well on raids 5, and there are many changes to do, and I have so many monsters to run, and I have solid space for runes that is taking me forever to do the changes, and I know it's gonna take a little bit more of time. So once again, guys, remember, first of all, focus on the rune farming teams. Second, the giants first, then dragons, then necro. Then you focus on the raid monsters, and then you focus on the damage dealers that you need for arena and for guild war, the monster that you need for arena, and the monster that you need for guild wars. And after you do all that, then you will be able to succeed on the game. And every month, just follow the same steps, and you are gonna be improving the monsters better and little by little, right? Then if you like this video, guys, just remember to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more helpful content, And I also hope you have a wonderful rest of the day.